In a vast and mysterious world where human knowledge is lost in the darkness of incomprehension, arises the opportunity to unravel one of the greatest secrets of the Bible. Who are the angels? Are they hovering above us, guiding our destinies? And what do the cherubim, seraphim, and thrones hold as secrets, and the dominions, virtues, and powers? Are they commanders of a celestial army ready to intervene in crucial moments of our existence? We will still explain in this video who the Principalities, Archangels, Watchers, and Nephilim are, and what their functions are. In a world beyond our comprehension, where ancient mysteries await to be unraveled, take a deep breath and get ready to embark on a journey where all the secrets of the angels are revealed. The word angel comes from the Greek angelos and the Hebrew malach, which mean messenger. According to the Bible, angels are spiritual beings created by God. They are not born, nor do they die, usually described as servants and divine messengers. They are considered pure and powerful beings, often associated with transmitting God's will, divine worship, and performing specific tasks on behalf of God. Angels can be divided into hierarchies, although these classifications are not explicitly detailed in the Bible. They have developed over centuries based on various scriptures and theological traditions and have been adopted by the Christian tradition. The most influential concept of angelic hierarchy was proposed by Pseudo-Dionysius the Areopagite in the 5th or 6th century in his work The Celestial Hierarchy. He divided angels into 3 orders or triads, each containing 3 choirs, totaling 9 choirs of angels. This conception was later adopted and adapted by medieval theologians and scholars, such as St. Thomas Aquinas, who wrote about it in his book Summa Theologica, written between 1265 and 1273. Angels would be divided into 3 groups based on their proximity to God. The first triad would consist of angels closest to God, and the third triad would consist of angels closest to humanity. The third triad of angels comprises the last 3 choirs closest to human beings. It is composed of the choirs of guardian angels, principalities, and archangels. Guardian angels is the most well-known choir, composed of angels who have the task of being messengers and guardians for individuals. They act as our personal protectors and guides, and that's why they are popularly known as guardian angels. They occupy the lowest hierarchy of heaven. The main function of these angels is to assist and guide people in their daily lives, attending to their spiritual needs and helping in times of need. Additionally, they represent human beings before God, especially children. In Christianity, there are no references to the names of guardian angels. Angels of power and leadership who have under their care not only groups of people and nations, but also specific places on our planet Earth. They are the tireless guardians of the order established by God, both in the political and religious realms. With their shining crowns and majestic scepters in hand, these celestial beings personify divine authority and protection. The spotlight goes to the legendary Archangel Michael, the Prince of Israel, who becomes the supreme example of this celestial principality. It is crucial to keep in mind that Lucifer's fall was motivated by envy and his desire to rule over God's kingdom. As soon as he was defeated and banished, a myriad of similar structures were created. Therefore, as there are magnificent angelic principalities, inevitably, dark demonic principalities arise. These, in turn, are understood as fallen angels who previously shared loyalty to God, but, in their betrayal, chose to support Lucifer. These same patterns are repeated in the powers in a disturbing and sinister manner. Thus, we understand that just as there are angelic principalities, there is also a dark side, demonic principalities that act within nations, conspiring in shadow and darkness. A striking example of this is recorded in the Holy Scriptures in the book of Daniel, where the angel Gabriel engages in a celestial battle against the Prince of Persia, preventing him from fulfilling his divine mission. Surprisingly, Gabriel faced fierce resistance and took 21 days to finally reach his destination. The Prince of Persia was a demonic figure who acted as an obstacle, trying to frustrate God's purpose. But light always prevails over darkness. Gabriel, in the face of this intense struggle, appeals to Michael, the mighty Prince of Angels, for assistance. Together, they manage to overcome the evil power and pave the way for divine victory. This dynamic between celestial and demonic principalities is a striking reminder of the constant battle that takes place behind the scenes of our existence. These are powerful forces invisible to our eyes, fighting for control and influence over humanity and nations. In the celestial hierarchy, these angels are subordinate to the dominions and powers. They are angels who have a special role as divine messengers to humanity, and are always depicted with a sword and a shield, as they are the leaders in the fight against evil. They transmit messages of great importance and are known for their significant interactions with human beings throughout the scriptures. In the Bible, archangels Michael and Gabriel are examples of this order. Archangel Michael is mentioned in several biblical books. In the book of Daniel, he is described as a protector of God's people. In the book of Jude, Jude 1:9, he is referred to as the Archangel Michael. In the book of Revelation, Revelation 12:7-9, Michael leads the heavenly angels in a battle against Satan and his demons, which culminated in the fall of Lucifer. It was Michael who escorted him out of heaven. Gabriel, although not explicitly referred to as an archangel in the Bible, is widely recognized as one of God's main angel messengers, based on his appearances to Daniel, Book of Daniel, to Zechariah, informing him that he would be the father of John the Baptist who would prepare the world for the coming of Jesus, and to Mary, informing her that she would be the mother of Jesus, as reported in the New Testament. Because of these highly important appearances, Gabriel is traditionally considered an archangel in Christian theology. In apocryphal literature, there are mentions of other angels who, in certain traditions, are also considered archangels. For example, the Book of Enoch mentions several archangels by name, such as Raphael, angel of healing, and Rigel, who, because of being very close to God, is known as friend of God. Additionally, he is also described as one of the angels who oversees the world, with the responsibility of guarding celestial justice and punishing the fallen angels who transgressed by descending to earth and engaging in sexual relations with human women. In Islam, the name Israfil is mentioned. According to this faith, he is one of the four main angels and is often described as the one responsible for blowing the trumpet to announce the end of the world and the resurrection of the dead in the apocalypse. Also known as domains or dominions, these are the oldest angels responsible for conveying God's orders to the angels of lower orders. Therefore, these would be the angels with a special task given by the Lord to dominate what God himself created. They are considered the leaders of the angelic hierarchies and have authority over the other angels. They are represented with a scepter and a sword, symbolizing their power over the lower choirs. They supervise and regulate the tasks of the lower order angels, ensuring that God's will is executed in the cosmic. They are seen as the celestial leaders who govern the activities of the other angels. In the Bible, there is no mention of names, which we only find in apocryphal books like Ezekiel's. In this one, there is mention of three names: Zaddiel, also known as Sadkiel or Sechiel, identified as the Archangel of Mercy and Benevolence. According to these traditions, Zaddiel helps people find forgiveness and mercy, and is sometimes considered the angel who prevented Abraham from sacrificing his son Isaac, and is the patron of people who forgive and the patron of mercy. Hashmal. In the book of Ezekiel, it is associated with the vision of the divine chariot, Merkabah, of the prophet, and it is linked to creation and revelation. Barakiel. He is one of the archangels and is often identified as the angel of blessings and good fortune. He is depicted holding a white rose, symbolizing the blessings he bestows upon believers. Barakiel is also associated with the supervision of guardian angels, assisting them in their task of caring for human beings. They are tasked with performing miracles and divine interventions on earth. They are associated with strength and divine power, possessing control over forces of nature, encouragers of human virtues, encouraging individuals to strengthen their faith. They are represented by healthy young individuals with a staff or wand in their hands. Although Raphael is primarily recognized as one of the archangels in the deuterocanonical books, such as the Book of Tobit, some traditions associate him with acts that can be considered miraculous, such as healing. In this category, we also have the angels Uziel and Haniel, or Aniel. They act as guardians and protectors of nations, cities, and institutions. They are responsible for maintaining divine order in the world. It is believed that the powers distribute power and authority within the heavenly kingdom, ensuring that all power used by angels is in accordance with divine law, preventing its misuse. They are always in possession of their flaming swords. An example of their actions can be found in 2 Kings 19:35, when an angel annihilated an army of 5,000 men in the Assyrian camp to protect the kingdom of Judah. The Bible does not mention names, but apocryphal sources. Book of Ezekiel mentioned the angel Camiel, who acts as the angel of justice and divine vengeance, enforcing God's will, especially in relation to the punishment of sins or transgressions. Similarly, in the realm of evil, there are also powers that are demons, who operate in areas of influence, such as politics, and they would have exercised the position of angelic powers before rebelling along with Lucifer and falling. Finally, we reach the closest order to God, where the Seraphim, Cherubim, and thrones are located. They are associated with God's judgment and divine justice, considered the manifestation of God's authority and sovereignty, delegating missions to lower choirs. The lack of biblical names for the thrones reflects the enigmatic and transcendent nature of these angels. The functions of the thrones are more focused on theology and symbolism than personification. It is possible that many of them have fallen to hell along with Lucifer. They are described as beings of great wisdom and are the guardians of God's throne, as well as being responsible for transmitting their knowledge to other angels. The image of cherubs adorns the Ark of the Covenant. The Bible also does not give names, but apocryphal books mention Ophaniel, described as the prince of the cherubs, overseeing other angels in this choir. Cherubiel. In some mystical Jewish and Christian traditions, he is described as one of the chiefs of the cherubs or even as a guardian of God's throne. This name tries to reflect the direct connection with the root of the word cherub. Uriel. It is said that he was the one who guarded the gates of Eden when Adam and Eve were expelled and prevented them from returning. Seraphim are often described as the angels closest to God. Their main function is to constantly worship and praise God. They are beings of fire, representing the burning passion and divine love. Seraphim also play a crucial role in spiritual purification and transformation, helping to elevate the souls of the faithful to union with God. The Bible does not individually name the Seraphim. They are briefly mentioned in the book of Isaiah 6:1-7, where the prophet Isaiah describes his vision of God's throne surrounded by seraphim, who continually praise God, saying, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. The whole earth is full of His glory." The identification of the seraphim is therefore limited to this passage, and they are described as beings with 6 wings. With 2 they cover their faces, with 2 they cover their feet, and with 2 they fly. The word seraphim itself is a transliteration of the Hebrew shrapim, which can be translated as burners or burning ones, possibly due to their proximity to the glory and purity of God. In apocryphal traditions and extra-biblical theologies, some texts and mystical sources have attempted to name individual seraphim, although none of these names have the endorsement of the canonical scriptures of Judaism or Christianity. In these non-canonical writings and esoteric traditions, seraphim are sometimes ascribed names. Some of these names appearing in certain pseudepigraphal books, mystical traditions, or occult literature include Metatron. Though traditionally associated with cherubim in certain mystical traditions, Metatron is sometimes depicted as a seraph or associated with the highest degree of the angelic hierarchy. Some literature places him as the angel closest to God and guardian of God's secrets. Seraphiel could possibly be the leader of the Seraphim. Lucifer. Before his fall, according to some interpretations of Christian tradition, Lucifer could be considered a seraphim due to his status as an extremely powerful angel and one close to God. However, this is an interpretation based on subsequent traditions and certain readings of biblical passages, such as Isaiah 14:12-15, which historically associate the figure of Lucifer with the fallen angel, and not a direct statement from the Bible. The classification of angels, the subject of endless discussion, is just one of the many ways to interpret and define these celestial beings. Every religious tradition and sacred text have their own categories and classifications for angels, making this topic even more fascinating. In the Jewish tradition, for example, we can find the Chayot HaKodesh, celestial beings with 4 faces, and the Ophanim, angels responsible for divine movement and balance, among others. Given so many nuances, it is essential to highlight equally relevant concepts that permeate this angelic universe. Within the celestial realms, a legion of sublime beings remains resolute and immaculate in their loyalty. These are the elected angels, beings of light and purity who, in the face of the storm caused by Satan's defiant insurgents, stood firm by the side of the divine. They are the silent but powerful majority, representing 2/3 of the angelic hosts, upholding the balance and harmony of the cosmos in strict observance of the Creator's decrees, as witnessed in the sacred writings of 1 Timothy 5:21 and Matthew 25:41. They are not mere spectators in the eternal battle between good and evil. They are warriors of light whose loyalty to God is a beacon of hope and an unshakable fortress against the shadow of rebellion. In the biblical scriptures, the term watchers refers to a group of angels who had the function of watching over human beings. They were angels of high order, like the Seraphim or Cherubim. However, some of them rebelled against God and fell with Lucifer. According to the book of Enoch, these angels descended to earth and became involved in inappropriate relationships with humans, teaching them forbidden practices and knowledge, and engaging in sexual relations with them. As a result, hybrid beings known as Nephilim emerged, who were a mixture of angels and humans. The story of the Watchers in the book of Enoch is not mentioned in the canonical Bible accepted by Judaism and Christianity, but it is considered part of the genre of apocryphal and pseudepigraphal writings. The angel of death is a figure present in various religious and cultural traditions, playing the role of an entity that takes the souls of the dead away from the world of the living. The concept varies significantly among cultures and religions. In Judaism and Christianity, there is no formally recognized figure of the angel of death in the canonical scriptures. However, there are several references to angels or events that are associated with death or God's judgment. In the Hebrew Bible, Exodus 12:23, during the last of the 10 plagues, the Lord passes through Egypt to kill all the firstborns of the Egyptians, but passes over the houses of the Israelites covered with the blood of the Lamb. Here the text mentions a destroyer, sometimes interpreted as an angel of death, as described in various passages of the biblical text, but it is not explicitly associated with any of the angelic classes as defined by later Christian theological hierarchy, such as the Seraphim, Cherubim, thrones, dominions, virtues, powers, principalities, archangels, or angels. There is no biblical indication that the angel of death is part of any of these specific choirs. The biblical passage of Exodus 12:23, which mentions the destroyer passing through Egypt, doesn't provide details about the nature or class of this angel. In fact, the text doesn't even clearly specify the destroyer is an angel. It could simply be a manifestation of God's judgment. Additionally, in rabbinic tales and Jewish traditions, there is reference to an angel called Azrael, traditionally known as the angel of death. Now that we have delved deeply into the fascinating nature of angels and the different types that make up this celestial realm, we are invited to delve even deeper into this mystery. In this video, right there on the screen, you will find crucial additional information about this subject, revealing a more complete and detailed understanding. Don't miss out on watching it, as diving into this world of angels is an unparalleled journey, capable of bringing us a deeper perception of spirituality and the divine. So don't waste any more time and click now to uncover new secrets and knowledge about these celestial beings. Take this opportunity to expand your mind and be enchanted by the greatness of angels.